This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. First, it warned Honda with a stern letter. Then it fired a warning shot with a cease and desist injunction. Now, the war is on. The California New Car Dealers Association filed a lawsuit against Honda because the automaker wants to sell electric cars under the Afeela brand directly to consumers, not through its franchise dealer network. The dealers got the California legislature to enact a law 2 years ago that prohibits legacy automakers from creating new car brands that don't use existing dealers. And as we keep saying, this is going to turn into a mega legal battle, especially when Volkswagen gets hit with lawsuits by trying to sell Scout trucks and SUVs directly to consumers. Yesterday, we told you that Nissan stock was going to take a dive once Mercedes-Benz pension fund sold all of its stock in the Japanese automaker. Well, they did, and then it did. The stock fell more than 6%, dragging Nissan's market cap to less than $9 billion, which could make it mighty tempting for someone to launch a hostile takeover. Ford says it's seeing a dramatic increase in customers using Blue Cruise. It now has over 1 million trucks and SUVs on the road equipped with the hands-free driving technology. By comparison, GM has over 500,000 vehicles equipped with Super Cruise, which is double last year's total. But Stellantis just shut down development of its more advanced Level 3 hands-free tech, blaming high costs and not much customer demand. Stella says it will now rely on suppliers and a tech company that it bought called AI Motive, which is located in Budapest, Hungary. Despite more countries slapping tariffs on Chinese-made EVs, Chinese automakers continue to boost exports, which are up 18% this year. And Leapmotor just shipped the first batch of its B10 crossover to Europe. The model goes on sale next month with a starting price just under 30,000 euros, or about 35,000 bucks. Leapmotor currently sells vehicles in 18 countries, exporting nearly 25,000 vehicles in the first half of the year. And by the end of the year, Leapmotor plans to expand to 20 more markets in Europe, the Middle East, Asia, Africa, and South America. In related news, a business controlled by Chinese automaker SAIC called Angie Logistics just added another RoRo, or roll-on, roll-off, car hauling ship to its fleet. It can hold 9,500 vehicles and will soon start shipping vehicles to Europe. Angie Logistics operates the largest car carrier fleet in China with 38 ships. To avoid European tariffs, BYD just started shipping EVs from Thailand, not China. The EU slaps BYD's Chinese-made EVs with 30% tariffs, but the Dolphin EVs that are made in Thailand only face a 10% tariff. And the first 900 units were shipped to Germany, Belgium, and the UK earlier this week. Speaking of BYD and overseas plants, the automaker announced it will open a CKD, or completely knockdown plant in Malaysia that will start operations next year. Why Malaysia? BYD has been the top-selling EV brand in the country for the past 3 years. It's not known how many vehicles the Malaysian plant will build, but BYD's factory in Thailand is also a CKD plant, and it has the capacity to produce 150,000 vehicles a year. While Chinese brands are opening factories overseas, Audi just opened a new plant in Shanghai that it operates with SAIC. The nearly $500 million plant has the capacity to produce 360,000 vehicles a year. The first model it's building is the new E5 Sportback that was specifically designed for the Chinese market. Audi's sales in China have fallen by double-digit percentages, and no doubt the plans to build this new assembly plant were finalized before the company saw this drop-off coming.
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With With Wireless Nearby Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Nearby Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
The average new car price in the U.S. is now close to $50,000. That's up 28% in the last 5 years, so buyers are now turning to longer-term loans to get a lower monthly payment. Edmunds says that 6-year car loans are now the most common, accounting for about 36% of all loans. 7-year loans account for about 21%. The monthly payment on a $50,000 vehicle is more than $200 cheaper on a 7-year loan compared to a 5-year loan. But that's more than wiped out over the extra years that you pay for the loan. A buyer with a 7-year loan pays an average of $4,600 more in interest compared to a 5-year loan. But for most customers, it's all about the cost of the monthly payment. The Ford Maverick is doing well. Sales are up more than 11% this year in the U.S., and now they're getting exported to South America. So far, tariffs on the Mexican-made pickup haven't hurt sales, and to keep it that way, Ford is making some changes. The base model is now a front-drive 2-liter turbo, not a hybrid. It's priced at just over $28,800, including destination charges, which is $1,000 less than the hybrid. By the way, Ford raised the destination prices by $100. It also made the sliding rear window an option on the Lariat and Tremor models, which cut their price by $350. And we're probably going to see other automakers make changes like this as they try to juggle the extra costs of the tariffs. Chevy is recalling higher performance versions of the Corvette. It's possible for spilled gas to pool around the filler cap, and the left side radiator cooling fan on Z06 and ZR1 models can potentially suck up those fumes into a hot engine compartment, creating a fire hazard. As a result, it also issued a stop sale on those models while it develops an insert or shield to divert any spilled fuel, which will get installed by the dealer. The recall impacts over 23,500 Z06s and ZR1s between the 2023 and 2026 model years. That's not a massive number, but the Z06 starts at roughly $110,000. So those performance Corvettes have generated at least about $2.6 billion in revenue. And obviously, Chevy sells a lot more Corvettes if you consider all versions. However, a total of just under 13,000 were sold in the first half of the year, which represents a drop of nearly 30%. Peugeot is coming out with a refreshed version of the 308 that features new exterior styling at the front and rear, as well as a little extra battery capacity for BEV and PHEV versions. The pack-in pure electric versions is a little over 4 kilowatt-hours bigger, taking range up to 450 kilometers, which is 34 kilometers more than before. The PHEV now comes with a roughly 17 kilowatt-hour battery that provides up to 85 kilometers of EV range, 20 more than before. All versions of the new 308, including a station wagon, hybrid, and diesel model, are made in France, and orders open this fall. And before we go, we want to alert our Patreon and YouTube members that John and I will be doing another live Q&A today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got a question you'd like to ask or a topic you want us to get into, just send it in. And if you're not a member, it's really easy to sign up, and it only costs a few dollars a month. And we truly appreciate all of you who are supporting Autoline. That's it for today's report. Thanks for watching, and we'll be right back here again tomorrow.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. CSP, the composites solution partner. intrepid control systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.
Making a life full of memories, one road trip at a time. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Weatherpeak tires with a 70,000-mile limited warranty.